Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new series of Conan Exiles with the Gazbeard. Oops, apologies for that. We're here at our Sepamaru base, which is to all intents and purposes finished. There are a few things I want to finish off on it, but this is not going to be the focus of this series. We're going to create a new base. I haven't decided where yet, so just to outline, our original base was down here at the river. Our Sepamaru base is here, and our river base covers basically the western half of the river and either side of it. Our Sepamaru base covers the desert and up here around the Crown Grove and the Oasis of Neket and the Shattered Springs. We need to think about having somewhere that covers the northern half of the desert here, and the unnamed city of course can be covered either from the river base or more preferably from the Sepamaru base. Now there's a few places on this map here that I was thinking of maybe using. One that I have used before is up here on the spillway, on the upland side of the spillway at the top of the cliffs. It allows forays down into the desert, but it's a tricky journey and it requires a lot of fiddling. That's better on a clan server in order to build easy access routes down. Another area where I've built a base before, quite a big clan base, was up here just north of the Black Galleon. But I'd like to have somewhere a bit more central. Now it might require a bit of exploring for us to get out and to do that. I'm kind of thinking that somewhere in the area of this junction of rivers would be good. The problem is of course that the sandstorms are going to sweep through here, and that could make life uncomfortable, shall we say. One of the other areas that we could look at is moving down here into the jungle zone, or the edge of the jungle zone between the desert and the jungle. That's one area that we could look at. We do have to get down to the sand-swept ruins and talk to the madman about the significance of the sandstorms. And there's a few bits and pieces down here that we've yet to explore and to get marked on the map. So where are we going to go? That's the sinkhole. If we go anywhere near that, we get lots of corruption. This back side of it here is there's a couple of skeleton camps, so we'd continuously be defending against those. This here's the den, of course. This is where all the werewolves and the acolytes of Jabal Sag hang out. If we go up into this area, we're not really getting much distance from Sepamaru. And this is full of rock noses and other nasties. The more I think about it, the more I think that going back to the spillway is the preferred location. It's just a hell of a way to drag thralls up, and that we have to go through this area to get them up there. and it's not easy to cross this area here. I don't know. Have you guys got a favourite location on the map? Maybe you can tell me. I'm very unsure as to where we should be setting up the next base. I want a location that's going to be interesting to build on. And there's not many of those around. So I think what I'll do, having had this little bit peruse, I'm going to take a recording break and go and have a run round over here until I find somewhere that will be an interesting location to build a base. Now, we've got a number of considerations for it. It's got to be close to a source of food, which means herds of animals that we can kill. It's got to be close to a source of thralls, and good thralls, ones that are going to be useful, not just cannon fodder. And it needs to be defendable. So the fact it's got to be defendable kind of narrows locations down a bit, but we shall go and see what we can find. I'm still kind of tempted by this area here. I'm also kind of tempted by the savannah area over here. Except there is a big NPC camp. I think it's there. Or it might be here in these ruins. This area around here is stuffed full of small NPC camps. We're very unlikely to get much peace in that area. So I need to go and find a location where we can build. So I will see you in a moment, although it will probably take several hours for me to find a location. Bear with me. Okay, I think I found a location that we can use for the type of build that I've got in mind. And yes, I am in admin mode and I am flying around cloaked because it's taking me about 3 hours, maybe 4 hours to find a suitable location. And to give you an idea where we are, this is the spire of God, what's he called? Mech-Kamoses. And you can see from the map that we are in G7, just below the savannah, across the river from the southern aqueduct, and just north of the Highway of the Dead, or whatever it's called. And we're right in the middle of Dogs of the Desert territory. We've got 4 villages, camps, whatever, around us that we can pull thralls from. We've got a reasonable collection of iron and coal around us. Wood is a bit thin on the ground, but there is loads of stone and other bits and pieces here at the spire itself. Now, it's not actually up here on the spire that I'm thinking of building. And when I go down here, you will probably recognize immediately where we are, because down there is the crocodile world boss in his pool. And if I come out across here, you can see there's the north-south river. Lots of antelope and stuff down here. There's coal and iron across on that side of the river, and you will probably recognize that archway with the giant crocodile living underneath it. More coal and iron down there. We are going to be building on here and across on here, and the reason I'm going for that is that side, obviously there is no worry about people attacking walls and things. This would be the main gate. There's lots of hyenas out here that we're going to have to clear out. The reason this would be the main gate is this is your smooth passageway leading to the gate itself. The gate would probably be positioned in here. Out here on this rock outcrop and that rock we can get a tower either side of the way leading into the gate. We've got natural stone all the way around here, which a purge could not attack. Natural stone here, even along here, and especially once I build up on this face, then it will be very, very secure. Around here there's another secondary gateway here with a narrow passage coming into it, and we can build up on here another defensive tower that will guard that passageway, but also guard that access to the passageway and guard for anything coming down that away. And inside here, by the time I've leveled this out with foundation stones, foundation blocks, we will have more than enough space for a wheel of pain and a map room and all the other stuff that we need to get in there. And over here on this side of it, plenty of space to put a decent workshop, kitchens, all that sort of stuff. These rocks are destructible, and coming around this side of the cliff on the high side there is a walkway. That's a destructible boulder. We can come all the way along here to get to that village. We can make this very, very defendable, and the whole point of this location is that it's easily defendable. Rather than a palace style base, this is going to be very much a military type base, and it's going to have lots of features that you've not seen me use on a base yet, which I think you will enjoy watching both the build and the final construction. There's going to be a lot of work to be done. Let me just park up on this rock here. Now, one of the first things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go and bring a few thralls from the other bases. I'm going to have to get the furnaces and what have you, the forges and the blacksmiths and so on set up, the artisans. They're just going to be sitting on the rock while we get the walls and stuff put into place. I'm going to need to bring a couple of archers and a couple of brawlers to help defend the place, although I may make the initial defences in just sandstone using the rock and wood that's around here before I bring them up, just so that we've got a mildly defended area. Now, all I've really done since that last purge in Series 2, when they attacked the small smelting base at the side of the unnamed city, is do a bit of exploring and killed a couple of hyenas and maybe a couple of antelopes to get some food. That is it. But look at the purge meter already. The purge meter is already at 30%. So it's very possible that we will get an early purge before I can get much of the building done here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video for a second here, and I'm going to head across to the different bases, and I'm going to drag the thralls back across with me and some of the equipment and materials that we're going to need, and I'm going to get some of the basics done. They will be very, very basics. In fact, if that's sunrise coming up, what I might do is just show you some of what I'm going to do. Now, this shelf here, there's a hyena down there eating the remains of an antelope. There's another one just there. This shelf here is what I call the key level. In terms of the interior build, where my feet is now is the highest point of the natural floor of the interior build. So this is the key level. Everything starts from here. And what I might just do is get some materials gathered and get the first few bits and pieces into place for starting from here, so that I can get my levels set out. So just bear with me a minute. I'm going to take cloak off, and I'm going to stop flying. We'll see what reaction we get from the hyenas. I think as long as they don't see me, they'll stay out there. We've got natural rocks here. Let me just get my tools out. So, my stone axe, my stone pickaxe. Remember, I use these because they're repairable using the materials that we're harvesting. Come on, hit that stone. Not the earth, the stone. Sort that out. Now, these rocks are going to stop spawning once we start building too much around them. Get that one in. I really do want to break these rocks. For some reason they're not breaking. Strange. Okay, get that stone. That's given me about 120 stone. Need a quick drink. And I am carrying 3 water skins. We need a munch. There we go. Right, I need a little bit more stone. Some across there. Is that? Yeah, that's harvestable. Starting to get heavy. He's struggling to move. Although he shouldn't be, because we're not even at 40% of capacity. Come on, break that stone. Interesting. That one broke. I'm not going to start harvesting the stones over there yet, because that's going to keep the that shelf and walkway blocked. I will take these few that are here though. few that are worth taking. That huge boulder that's along there is blocking this entire walkway, so I can afford to take all of this out. And there we are. Just dabs number 6 again, and the stone that we've been mining will repair the tool. This is the prime reason I do it this way, especially in the early stages of a build. You don't want to be carrying around materials that you've had to manufacture in order to repair your tools. Right, we need some wood. There's a couple of trees across there. I see another boulder sitting here, which... Yeah, get up. No, don't climb on it. You're going to hit it. Among other things, that just shows us the shape of the inside rocks. Right, switch to the axe. Get these few trees. You don't need much wood because we're just going to be using sandstone foundations to lay the datum for the build. There we go. There's a couple of trees up there if we need them. Right, now then, go into inventory. Yeah, right, how many sandstone blocks can we make? Sandstone foundations, let's have a look. Where are we? There they are. Right, we can craft 11. Let's craft 10 because we may need to make a wedge. And I'm going to have the spear out just in case these hyenas get nosy. Okay, now we've got a straight line going down there. Yeah, that's going to be our initial alignment. I may need to put a wedge here to get it to come across flush on there. But our primary alignment for all of the interior is going to be this line here. So if I put those tools away, get those out. Right, so number 5. I'm going to want that to come up just a little. I don't really want it sticking out the bottom. And yeah, the hyenas have decided to come and take an interest in us. That's not quite worked the way that I wanted it to, and that's primarily because I didn't want it sticking out under that edge. So I'm going to need to put a wedge into there, and those drums are the hyenas getting nosy. So let me just jump up here while I make that wedge. Sandstone, where are we? Sandstone. There we are. We need one wedge. Craft 1. Right. 6. That will go there. Then number 5, we get that one into there, and another one there. So that's our datum. Everything will be positioned from that line. Everything will go back from here based off that. And just to show you what I mean with the remaining block, I put that there. See that coming across there like that. And what we should be able to do is build this out to the point, looking at it, we probably get to about here, and at that point the bottom of the foundation block will be showing, and we'll then do a drop down from here. So what I need to do now, if you'll bear with me, is I need to go and get a few troops and get them to bring some materials back with them, and we can then get on with this and get everything started. So I'm going to run back to the river base, bring a couple of troops up. I think I've got a couple of spare tradespeople down there. Bring them up. We can get the forge in a temporary location and start getting stuff done.